What's up? What's up? What's up? So, um, so I decided to go live on my Patreon. So I'm gonna go live today. It's gonna be every 3 hours. What time is it? It's gonna be every 3 hours, and I'm gonna be doing free readings. It's 3 card readings. Okay. Where is my phones? Oh my God, Spec. Spec, give me my. Oh shit. The trickster is in the building, baby. What's up? She took my phone. I left my phone on the table before I left to take my dog out. So, when I went outside to take my dog out, and I've been having a lot of issues with my electronics today too. So what time is it? It's 1:26. So I'm gonna do my next live at 4 o'clock. So on my Patreon, I go live. I do 3 card free readings. Donations are acceptable, but they're appreciated. We should say, but I'm not really worried about that. There's a reason why I do free readings, to be able to protect myself, because I got a whole bunch of skittles and scabs that are always trying to send me bad energy. So if I if I give you that free work and you try some bullshit, oh, that ass gonna get tagged. And the trickster is here with me today. He wants he wants to go in with the readings with me. So that kind of tells me there's going to be a lot of karmic. There may be a couple of whatever, I don't know, because I went live earlier for 2 hours, but I used that time to work on my mental health, so I didn't even post that because I was talking about a lot of shit that I shouldn't be talking about. So I'm going to do my next live at 4. So I'm going to leave the link in my description box. So at 4 o'clock, I'll be going live on my Patreon. Okay, so when I went outside, it was 3 big black men. So my thing is that they look like security. Okay? What I got from that was security. Okay? So I don't know what's up. Is there something going on with the security? It's nothing to worry about though. So whatever. The security is significant. Okay. Are we going to talk about the security? Okay. What are the messages for whomever it may concern? What are the messages? Scoot back. What are the messages? What are the messages? It's kind of like they've been having like little meetings, secret meetings. I think that's kind of got you feeling some kind of way. I don't know. Like, I don't want to just limit this to security. Fuck it. Whatever. We just gonna do the reading. I just saw three big black men, and the word security came to me. Okay, so Sebek is here, and Sebek is working with me. He's going to be here with me today. So Sebek is a Pan-African deity. He is, so an example of Sebek, for one, he's the trickster. Okay? Zodiac signs that are connected to Sebek is Gemini, Scorpio, and Libra. Okay? So, Sebek is considered the trickster. This is also the writer. Okay? But an example of Sebek energy is, let's say that you pick up a book, right? You start reading this book, and it's a really great book. Most people will just end it with it being a really good book. They may take a look or two at who wrote the book, but Sebek is interested in the author. So Sebek energy is going to lead you to discovering, researching, and finding truth about the author. You know, Sebek is many, but that's the number one thing that I'm picking up most here. Okay. It's not about the creation, it is about the creator. Okay. That's pretty backwards. But trickster energy works backwards. Most people in the world are living backwards. Okay? So, it may have something to do with something worldly. Sebek also plays on words. Just like when it comes to Tupac, right? So, Tupac with Nigga, not ignorant, getting goals accomplished. He's really good with lyricism and wordplay and all that type of stuff, and switching up meanings for words. Like over the years, people have come up with the Ebonics. That is Sebek. Okay? The lyricist. Crown you with my heart, your kisses ring. Round and round my head, I'm thinking of your love is king. Your love is king. Crown me with my heart, your kisses. I was thinking about, when I woke up, I was thinking about that song. And when I was trying to play around with my live, I went to Sade's playlist, and that was the first song that popped up. Okay. Crown you with my heart, your kisses ring. Okay, so we have passage in the position of the crown, moving in the direction towards your purpose, clearing out old experiences that were not favorable within your relationships, rather that's intimate relationships, kinships, friendships, whatever. Past is the past. Everything in which that you experienced in the past that was a good experience, that is beneficial to you in the future, you're taking that into the future with you. So you have a spirit guide around you. Is it Sebek? Okay, it's not. I guess he's mine, right? Okay. So, but you have a spirit guide who is helping to clear your path. So you are moving through the darkness right now. So there are a lot of things that you may be unsure about. So that famous poem, Footprints? And the guy asks, well, there are no footprints here. So where were you then? And God says, that's the time to where I was carrying you through. So at this point in time, you are going through the place of the unknown to where you are being carried. So you are in the position of what they call the fatalist. Okay? So to where you are completely blind to the way to where you're headed next within your perception, within the way that you think, within relationships, within your life period. Okay, this is rite of passage, moving in the direction of your purpose. Okay, maybe there's a new level that you are about to be going to too. Okay, so it's like walking through the darkness and you can't see, but it's kind of like it's like shit in your way. And you're just like, I can't see this shit that's in my way. Like, what is this in my way? So you have a spirit guide that is helping to clear the path so you can just walk freely through to the other side. Okay, so you have swiftness. This is rooms of people. This is a room of people, a gathering of people who are talking about you. Okay, your name is being mentioned. Things are happening very quickly. You have mystery in reverse. That is the past. You have reason, masculinity, okay, voice of reason. So there may be certain things going on with you. It could be either or, right? So if you are a man, you have purpose in fatherhood. So when we have purpose, and my thing is that there are many fathers, right? But not all dads have purpose in fatherhood. Okay? So how do you know you have purpose in fatherhood? Ever since you were younger, people just saw this daddy presence in you. Your friends, people would come to you for advice. Individuals looked up to you. This, and that. You know what I'm saying? You just have that natural daddy presence. So there is a situation that's taking place that may be a little toxic. Is calling for you to be the voice of reason and mutualizing a certain situation. Okay, if you are a woman, sometimes this is when we have to step in and support individuals who have purpose in fatherhood, which means that as a woman, you have to step into your authority and you have to take on the role of dad. So, it's like helping support somebody else in their purpose. Because, God is working with them or something. There are changes going on with inside of this person. So this is not the time to sit and say, well, you're supposed to be doing this, you're supposed to be doing that. God is calling this person and God is calling you too. You're going to have to step into the role of the authority of the Father. Okay? So we have jealousy in reverse, cooperation in reverse, then you have woman of music in reverse. These are all the past, so we're not even gonna fuck with it. Okay, so what is this? There's a lot of black, red, orange, and yellow. Okay, and then we have the divine masculine here. Okay, so you're in need of that divine feminine. Okay, which means that I do pick up that you need to get laid, but I don't think that is that simple. Okay, but that could very well be very helpful. There's something here, there's like a void of appreciation, right? So masculinity represents the heart chakra, throat, angina, and crown. The feminine is going to represent solar plex, sacral, and the root chakra. Okay, and then we have chakras within our hands, our knees, ankles, feet. Though that's going to represent the black. So the knees, okay, things start to bother you in your knees when you are being targeted by jealousy. You have jealousy in here in the past, okay, dealing with a feminine energy. Okay, fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Okay, So, if you kind of felt certain things within your knees, and you could, it was unexplainable, it just happened out of nowhere, like whatever, that person, that's why that chakra was getting weak. Okay, now the thing is that you got three people in this card. Okay, so it could be three people. It looked like you got a priestess here, and then it looked like you got a woman here, and then there's an authoritative figure here too. So I think those are the three people. You may have been listening to these three people, and all of them are jealous of you. So, I mean, they don't know. This is low vibrational. This is very hateful. So, whatever. I'm trying to tell you, motherfuckers will try to get into your head. So, but your knee or your knees have been speaking to you. So Capricorn rules the knees. Okay? So, maybe there's something going on here with Capricorn. Capricorn also represents father. Okay? Cancer is the polar opposite of Capricorn. So when Cancer operates within their shadow, it's more like Capricorn. Most Cancer men are, they have a lot of Capricorn. It seems like they're operating within that shadow because, they're out in the world being the goat. You understand? And sometimes with a Capricorn man, when he's operating in his shadow as the Cancer, he's more so of a home man. He's more so of, wanting to be at home, taking care of the children, but also balancing out work. But he's more of a family man. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know, but yellow is very big here. So, I feel like when you operate within your feminine energy, it's so beautiful. And if you think about it, predominantly of the world is masculinity, and it's psychologically programmed. It's masculine. So, in being feminine within a very masculine world, they eat your ass up. Okay? So your femininity is extremely beautiful. Rather you're a man, rather you're a woman, and people are extremely jealous of that tender, softer side, even if you're a man. Because I'm going to tell you, women be getting jealous of men because a man will display more nurturement. He's more nurturing. He's more understanding. He's more loving. And a woman sometimes can feel like, well, I'm the woman. I'm supposed to be doing that, not you. And sometimes women see this as a form of control. You know what I'm saying? Emotional control. So, as a man, when you're in touch with your feminine side, when that beautiful side comes out of you, it triggers people and people get jealous. Just like I said, a woman, and sometimes, especially with fire signs, because they are very competitive. Okay? Very competitive. So, it's kind of like, you're not supposed to be you're not supposed to be doing this in this relationship. It's supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be the one making you feel good. I'm supposed to be the one nurturing you. But with fire signs, they need to understand it's like they are very energetic. So when they're not setting energetic or emotional boundaries, they have a tendency to absorb somebody else. Okay? Anybody has the ability to absorb, but it's kind of like the energy is like trying to swap out the energy. So let's say that a fire sign woman, she meets a man, and her first impression of him is that he's very dominant and masculine. Immediately she feels like she has to match that. So then when that man moves into his feminine energy, she's just like, whoa, wait. So why did you switch up? Like, now you're trying to be like me. But it's a projection. Because the moment that you saw his masculinity, you tried to match that instead of staying within your femininity. So this is about understanding relationships and how to dance in between feminine and masculine. Two masculines, this is what you're going to do. Two feminines, this is what you're going to do. So you must be somebody to where that's that sebek. That's that sebek. You know how to move in between. So it's kind of like she's trying to be like you. She's trying to match your masculinity. Then when you move into your feminine, it's kind of like she doesn't understand what has happened. She doesn't understand the dance. So she gets upset. And it's kind of like, you're trying to be the woman. You're trying to be this. You're trying to be that. That's my role. That's what I'm supposed to do. Well, why weren't you doing that in the first place? While he was in his masculinity, why weren't you in your femininity? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes people have a problem with trying to match you all the time. You need to be okay with, I think that you're a man, and I think that that's how you test women mentally. Okay. That's that trickster. That trickster knows how to move. The trickster Sebek is aligned to Het Heru. So Het Heru is the deity that is the divine feminine. She's like Aphrodite in Greek mythology. She rules love, sensuality, art, dance, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So okay. So you be testing women. I kind of pick up Kevin Samuels too. People thought that Kevin Samuels was just a terrible man, but I'm just like, man, he making a fool out of these bitches. There's no woman that comes up there that's comfortable just being her. And, there was no woman that was okay with understanding and seeing his perspective, but still like, okay, Kev, I hear what you're saying, I see what you got going on, but at the same time, like I'm me, like I need some help with how somebody is going to adapt to me. It shouldn't be all about the man. And that's what I'm saying. I just felt like with looking at a lot of his videos, I'm just like, damn, a lot of men be doing this shit. But the thing is that it was kind of a trap, because he's setting himself up to give advice. But the bigger picture is that it's really not about the advice. It's very catalytic. You should be thinking for yourself. One thing that men do not like, they don't like if another man can get into your head. That's one thing they do not like. I feel like that's the reason for a lot of the head games that they be trying to play. You may come off like a smart, confident woman, but he's going to put your ass to the test. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel that shit didn't work. So getting back to the situation, so when he moves into his feminine and she's there, it's kind of like she's projecting, oh, you're trying to be like me. No, you're trying to be like me. You're trying to keep up with me. And now I'm being catalytic as to how you should be behaving, as to what energy you should be in. And this is how you work out relationships, because if the two of you are in war with each other, masculinity, this is what you're going to do. This is what happens. Like shit doesn't get solved. It's fighting, it's combativeness. So it's kind of like when it comes to my son's father, when he's real hot headed, that's when I calm down. Now, if he's doing the most, if he's getting on my nerves, then I'm going to speak up, and I'm going to speak up with a little more firmness within my voice. Sometimes I got to get a little loud. Okay? But then it's kind of like when he sees that I am unmovable and that I'm calm, it helps him to relax, and he starts thinking, fuck is she so calm for? You know, like, I'm mad, I'm upset. Why, you know what I mean? She acting like she don't care, or it's not important to her or something. So that gives him something to think about. Okay, so there are times to where when I'm in my masculinity, it seems like he does better in his feminine. But I don't always want to be in my masculinity. But it's, you know, the feminine energy is where, to me, it seems like he feels the most comfortable. You know, because I'm strong. When I make decisions, I make decisions. I'm aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not afraid to make certain moves. I always am taking initiative. You know, I'm going to be the bigger person. You know what I'm saying? So he feels comfortable with me being more in my masculinity. So a lot of the times, you know, I'm more so within my masculinity. So this is when I talk about, rather you're a woman or rather you're a man, sometimes you have to step in because God may be working with the man, and God needs you to step into the authoritative role of dad. Okay? Not trying to be a man, but just, you know, not being as soft, gentle, and kind. You got to step into that authority. You know, you may have to tell the kids, like, look now, you know, you've been getting away with this shit for a long time. And I'm going to sit you down and we're going to talk about this. But, you know, baby, I need for things to change. You know, I need to see some results. I mean, whatever the situation is. Okay? Ooh. That was a goddamn mouthful. Oh, child. So, my thing is, you know, a lot of people don't have the understanding about the interchangeable energy. It's up and down. It's life. As long as we're living, it's always going to be up and down. Who the fuck cares? You know, when we come into union, you know, we come together. This is the balance. We are individuals here, right? But we're still maintaining our individuality as well as understanding that we have a partner. But when it's time for us to come together and work together, that is where we find the harmony, the balance, the union. Okay? So this is pretty much all masculinity. So I do kind of pick up there may be some type of cash that comes in unexpectedly for somebody, you know, and this is going to put them in a good position. You know, masculinity needs to feel accomplished, both in men and women. The masculinity, it needs to feel accomplished. That's why sometimes, you know, when it comes to dating coaches, you know, they'll tell you, oh, you got to stress him out. You got to stress your man out. Right? So I'm just like, well, I don't want to stress him out, you know, because I used to go to a dating coach. I was just like, well, I don't want to stress him out, you know. But I understand, because if sometimes when a man has life too easy, he has it too good, he's not being challenged in any kind of way, whether it's small or big. It's kind of like he start complaining. He start like being bitchy. You know, he just, you know, it's the complaining. You know what I'm saying? But when he has a challenge to take on, let's say something breaks down with the car, he doesn't know anything about cars. right? So he has to challenge himself, to learn. Like, get on the internet. YouTube teaches you a lot of stuff about stuff like that. He gets on YouTube, he looks at this and that. He looks in his car, he's doing this and that. So he's moving through the problem and he finds a solution. Now he feels like the king of the world. He feels great about himself. He didn't even have to spend any money. He didn't have to go to somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? It was something that was done by his hand. Now, every man doesn't care about that, because some men, they work very hard because they want to be able to pay for shit, when it breaks down. It's kind of like, I have money, so I don't have to worry about getting my hands dirty, Ooh, child. I feel like my head about to blow off. Okay. But there's a lot of yellow here. So the thing is to stand within your power. Remember your will, the will to live. When we're dealing with jealous and envious people, there's something dead inside of them. And they're upset because they can't get it back, or they can't, no matter what you do to make them feel good, they're always trying to take away your beliefs. The number one thing they try to take away is your belief within yourself. So that yellow is going to represent the solar plex. So, you need to be strong within who you are. There may be a very big decision that you have to make too. Okay, so be strong within who you are. Make your decisions, and there is no right or wrong. You may make a decision and it's unfavorable. Well, the next time. It is what it is. Be brave. Life is full of ups and downs. It's not about anybody else. It is about you. Whatever decisions that you make, you have to live with it. You have to deal with it. It's not about what other people are going to say. It's not about what they're going to think. Who the fuck cares? Your decisions must be based off of you. Your will to live. Okay? Acceptance. I accept who I am. I know who I am. Right? Don't let nobody tell you who you are. Ooh. Okay, that's all I pick up. That's all I pick up. So until next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.